Good morning, good morning, good morning. Pull up the chat. Chat is up. We are headed down to Center Street right now where there was that deadly house fire several nights ago. I got some tips that came in about some of the stuff that was happening there at that house fire. So I'm going to be doing some filming at that site today, and we're going to be looking at some new information that's come in about that place. Some really shady stuff happening at that house, and
201 clearance officer.
a lot of drugs being sold. I hear there was a murder that happened there, a death, but I can't find any records on the death right now. But apparently there was a disagreement. Somebody was shot there within the last couple of years. So looking at trying to go back and look through police reports for that is hard. I did submit a PIR this morning for any records that the city has related to that address. So we'll see what they give up, if they give up anything. They may not give me anything, to be honest. There is a chance that they'll come back and say that this is an ongoing investigation and, we can't release anything. So there's a neighbor that I talked to, or that sent in some information to me, that they had been calling in code violations. They had been calling in concerns, drugs, homelessness in the backyard, just all kinds of stuff. And apparently it was a hoarder's house. So, yeah. Some new information that I found out last night about the house was the old man that lived there that owned the house and his wife were the two that passed away. There is a son named Arliss. I think that's his name, Arliss. I don't have it in front of me, but if I remember right, his name is Arliss or something like that. He has a very large criminal record, and he had been arrested many times at that address. Everything from assaults to drugs to you name it, he's been arrested there. So I've got a lot of information coming out about that house, and I'm hoping that we can get some records from the city to show exactly what they're thinking. I am also sending a message to the Austin Fire Department's Austin Fire Department's arson division to see if we can get them to give us some information on if they are investigating that fire as an arson or if it is an accidental fire. So we'll see what they give us, if they give us anything. We'll just have to see what happens. But it is Sunday, July 21st. It is hot already. It is 95 degrees right now. And if I remember looking at the weather for today, it is actually, let's see, was that yesterday that I saw that it was supposed to rain? Let's see. Yeah, today there is a chance of rain this afternoon. And then, so we have an 80% chance today. So we got a chance of rain basically for the rest of the week. From today through next Sunday, there's a chance of rain. And it's supposed to be in the mid to upper 80s for the rest of the week, which is crazy that our weather is going to be this cool. It's in the low 90s right now. But it sure does feel like it's in the hundreds already. I can tell you that much. So, like I said, we're on our way down to Center Street. We're gonna see what we can uncover down there. I'm not gonna be live long today, just enough to feed the algorithm a little bit and see what.
46 road unit needed.
All right, let's see. Got an email. Let's see what that email says. Kathy, there she is. All right. Maggie, that is the partner of the dad, died in the fire. Maggie has no criminal records. Cecil Sigler, that is the dad. He was 79 years old. He died in the fire. 1999, he had a DWI in Williamson. 83, he had an aggravated assault. 76, unspecified charges. And 66, he had aggravated assault as well. Arlie, that's his name, Arlie Lee Sigler. He's a 56-year-old man. He has assault charges from 98, 94, 2000, and 2019. He got a false imprisonment charge. That was 94. He evading arrest. That was in Galveston. Delivery of cocaine. On only one of those charges that he served any time on, that was in false imprisonment. He served 120 days. Protective order made to return minor child to ex-wife. There's another son, Cecil. Cecil Fred the Third. Let's see. He's age 54. He was a kid. He got 2004 was charged with robbery. 2005 he was charged with manufacture and delivery. He was given probation on that. 2005 credit card abuse. 2005 unauthorized use of a vehicle. And 2022 unauthorized use of a vehicle. There was another person staying there. Renan, age 27. Charges for unauthorized use, aggravated robbery with a gun. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening there. There's a lot of stuff happening at that address. Holy smokes. So, let's see. Possession, and including possession in a correctional facility. Other son, dad is Robert, no record. He was not living there. Ex-wife of Arlie was Jan Michelle. Extensive record, including felony DWIs, possession. Died suddenly in 2019 at age of 50. No other information. Alright, so there was a lot of people living there. There was a lot of problems at that house. Oh, Arlie seems like a stand-up guy. Arlie and Cecil. Yikes. So we're headed down to that house right now. I'm going to see what's happening there today. We may stop and do some filming there. Actually, let me see if I've got my email. Ionos. Webmail. shall. Password.
146. Charlie 46. Charlie 46. Go to the last three of my gate number, please.
Just.
231. 231.
The last 2 years, myself and the neighbors have called 911 at least 30 times. 311 just as many times. We've witnessed gang fights, drug dealings, homelessness, domestic violence, shootings, and drug abuse in the street. Mentally ill persons from the house screaming up and down the street. Yikes. Y'all have got to see this. Hey, Wednesday. My knee hurts. My knee hurts. I'm going to be making an appointment with the doctor this week because something's wrong with it. I don't know what I've done, but something's not right. I've been resting it. I mean, yeah, I've been working, but I'm just sitting here in the car. So, I mean, it's not like I'm hiking on it. But I'm going to make an appointment. I definitely busted my ass. I can tell you that much. We were hiking. It was a pretty rough terrain where we were hiking, and there was a pile of wood that was right in the middle of the trail. And you have to go over that pile of wood. Well, I hung my boot toe in under a limb, and then I kind of twisted and just kind of plopped down, fell over. So I twisted my knee. That was the knee, like I said, that I had reconstructed back in December. So maybe it's just sprain and I just need a little bit more time to heal. But it's not too painful anymore. It's just tender. You know what I mean? Like, it's tender. Like if I go up steps or something like that, it's very tender. But I still have full mobility with it, so I don't think I tore anything. I'm almost certain I didn't. But I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. I've got kiddos that I need to be healthy for. I've got young babies. So I don't know if you heard, but we're on our way to South Center Street right now. South Center Street, where that deadly fire happened. I've got some new information that's come in. I've got a source I'm going to be calling here in a little bit that has firsthand knowledge of everything that happened at that place. And yeah, a cortisone shot. I would love to have a cortisone shot right now, actually. That definitely, when I had my surgery, I took 2 cortisone shots. One right after the surgery, and then I had another one, I think, in like February or something like that. And it's like 2 months later, and it definitely helped. It takes away a lot of that inflammation that's in there. But anyway, this house where these 2 people died, it is a crazy ass story. The neighbors in this neighborhood have been begging for help from the city of Austin and got nothing. I was just told that there was at least 30 911 calls and at least 30 311 calls in the last 2 years alone at that place.
1-31 checking your status.
And nothing was ever done. Nothing. The neighbors in that neighborhood could not get any help at all. So it's very sad. Very sad.
1-31. There was a request to cancel advising a false alarm. Key holder did call in.
Very sad that neighbors can't get any help from the authorities. The people that are supposed to be there to help them and to protect them, they can't get any help. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get my other camera brought up here real quick. I'm gonna get my other camera brought up here, and let's see here. I'm gonna just pull over right here. I'm gonna pull over right here because we're just right around the corner, and I'm going to get my phone, my other camera connected. Okay.
722.
742.
Make contact with the child. Everything's simple right now. Can you make contact with the mother and
Just a
ask her
few
if she's coming on
seconds
scene
here,
to get a
guys. Just a few seconds.
10-4, she did advise our call taker that she was en route. The ETA was going to be about 45 minutes, though.
medical? 10-4.
Almost ready. Studio. Transition to this shot. Okay. Get off of studio mode. Okay. Let's go down in the neighborhood and see what we can find down here. This is South Center Street right here. To the end. Okay. Stream should be stabilizing right now, actually. Let me go down here and turn around. See if we can't turn around right here.
It's going to be at the 1900 block of Kelly Lane. Caller advised of a white female wearing a light green tank top, jeans, shorts, tin purse, blonde hair. Mirrors in 2012. She was visibly crying. It looks like she's in distress. Walking sort of in the road going under the overpass.
Just a second. So this is the place. You can see, look at the fencing. This was like this before, but you can see where the house was burned, and then you get all of this. Look at the stuff out here.
The caller advised that they're last seen going westbound towards Stonehill areas.
I don't know, y'all. All of this stuff. But anyway, we're gonna get back into the
443 traffic.
we're gonna try to get back in there.
443.
We'll There's
It's
cameras
gonna be on a
up
Chrysler
there.
Sebring, no license plate. It'll be a
So-
Great Lane in North 973.
Not good.
10-4.
Not good at all. Hello, Butterfly. How are you doing? I don't know if you just saw, that was the house that I've got some new information about that home. And
Part 36 County, if you would put me out with Part 43.
let me see if I can give you guys some information here. Okay, so let me read you a tip that I had gotten. One sec, let me make sure that I can stay live. Alright, let me get to where I can stop and my satellite is not being blocked. One quick second. It's a very nice neighborhood down here. I can't believe that house is in that shape. Alright. Let me get up here where I can stop real quick. I want to read you guys something. So this was a tip that I'd gotten from a neighbor that lives right there. Let me get out from under this tree.
Part 36 County, Texas 28 when ready.
So like I said, I got a tip. They can put the tires out for pickup. And that whole place is so junked up and nasty. I don't know what they're gonna do, but over the last, let me read you a tip that I got in my email. Over the last 2 years, myself and the neighbors have called 911 on this house at least 30 times. 311 just as many times. We've witnessed gang fights, drug dealing, homelessness, domestic violence, shootings, drug abuse, all in the street. Mentally ill people from the house screaming up and down the street and threatening anybody that talks to them. We know that one of the sons, the one previously in prison for selling fentanyl, is supposedly a high-ranking white supremacist with the Aryan Brotherhood. They are dangerous people, and the city and the police seemed just fine with letting them continue with this way of life. And there is something deeper and more sinister going on between the operations of this house and our law enforcement. The casualties in the fire are sad. However, the fact that they blew the house up is no surprise. And the neighbors are hopeful this is the end of their time on South Center Street. This 78704 South Austin neighborhood is a great neighborhood with good people. This house ruins it and makes it good, and makes the good, hardworking, tax-paying people feel unsafe. Yeah, so I've got some stuff coming. I've got a video coming about this. As soon as I'm done streaming, I'm going back to the neighborhood and I'm gonna film. I don't know how long I'll be able to film there before the neighbors get mad at me, but it's a public street, so there's not a whole lot anybody can say. Many new people have moved into that neighborhood and knocked down homes and rebuilt. Well, guess what? That is one house that needs to be knocked down. Do y'all remember I was telling you that I think that house exploded? The house did explode. It did blow up. And I was almost certain that it did blow up just because of the circumstances. But the house did blow up in the back, not the front. So, I mean, the whole house wasn't leveled by the explosion, but the house did explode. That is what it is, Wednesday. They were cooking meth, I guarantee you. Both of the sons have charges for manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance. They're both of the kids, Cecil the third and Arlie Sigler. They all have manufacture and delivery charges. So it's my bet, considering their past, that they were cooking dope. Both of them have been in jail for selling meth and fentanyl. So it's a bad place, and it got their parents killed. Well, it got their dad and their stepmom killed. So I would imagine that the city, the police department is probably not going to release any information to me. They're probably going to tell me it's an active investigation, and they can. I know that neighborhood well growing up. Family and friends lived there. Well, it's a shame what happened. It is a shame what happened. No, it's not a rent house. The Siglers, Cecil Sigler, the old man that died in the fire, bought that house back, as much as we can tell, back in the early 70s. He bought it back in the early 70s. So they did own that piece of property. But it's so odd because if you look at that neighborhood, it is a nicer neighborhood. But then right in the middle of those new houses and those nice houses, you had this house that looks like it was out of a movie. You know, and it's like they've got this, fence around the place. It's kind of hodgepodged and put together. Nasty, just stuff everywhere. Cameras. That's a house. That house looked abandoned is what it looked like. And then they had those nice cameras all around it. And that is a good sign. When you have those kind of cameras and a house that is in that condition and it's being lived in that way, that's a pretty good sign that there's dope being cooked. So it wouldn't surprise me not one bit. Would not surprise me one bit. But there's cameras there. We have their backgrounds. Everybody that lived there, we have their backgrounds now. We know what they were charged with, when they were charged, how long they spent in prison. We have all of that. Now we have a neighbor that is filling in some of the background information for us about what's happened at that property over the last several years. And it's very bleak. I know I put out a message a while back saying that I've got some crazy stories coming out of that place, and that's what I'm talking about. Very crazy stories coming out of that place. So, yeah, I don't know why you would need cameras to and all of that junk. I mean, I'm not saying that. Anyway, I don't know why you would need cameras with all of that junk going on there, but I guess to each his own, right? To each his own. Alright, we're gonna get this camera going. Hey Joe, I'm not surprised they do not have an HOA watching for police. Yeah, that's exactly, they're watching for the police. That is exactly what they're doing. 100% watching for the police. Alright, let me get studio mode. APD. Something wrong with the stream? Doesn't look like there's anything wrong with the stream. I'm trying to get my camera. All right. How does that new camera look, y'all? I like the new camera. Kathy, how are you doing? We were just going over your research into the Sigler family. Excellent work as always. I don't know what I would do without you. We were just over at South Center Street, Kathy. I've got a video coming out. I'm actually going to talk to you a little bit this afternoon once we're done here. That way I can, I just need to talk to you and figure out, that way I know that I've got my facts straight. You know what I mean? If that's okay, I'll message you. We were just going over your research into the family this morning and looking at that house. I also have another message I need to send you from our source that can also fill in a little bit of the background. I'm going to send that to you here very shortly. Yeah, Wednesday, this is a new camera that you're going through right now. I know it looks more like it's more like a fisheye kind of lens, I think. So that's the new camera. This is the original camera. Hang on, it's got to kick back on. It's a GoPro. That's the new camera. Do y'all like the new camera better than the old camera? It actually may be getting a little bit hot. Sigler's sons would not be able to afford property taxes there. You're right. I don't think they would be either. It is a very odd situation with that family. You know, I don't want to say like 100% that they wouldn't be able to afford it, but it would be hard. It would definitely be hard for them to afford it. You know, it's just, I don't know. Something is off about the whole thing. They're in jail for dope. Both kids, you know, they have pretty extensive charges. And, you know, it seems like everybody that lived there had pretty extensive charges. Kathy can tell you about that. I mean, the dad was over 65. Kathy, you know, I don't have the information in front of me, but he was well over 65. I think it was 79 or something like that. Yeah, Joe, it does. That's because it's true 4K. It is true 4K video. Alright, let's see. What is this? Old Torf? We're going to turn on to Old Torf. The dad was definitely over 65. That's for sure. And I would imagine there's probably some insurance involved in that. If life insurance, I mean, it could be anything. But, you know, the boys, I read an article last night on KXAN. Yeah, Kathy, there you go, 79. I read an article last night. I think it was on KView, actually, where the sons were standing out front talking about how sad everything was. And telling people they, you know, what they needed help with, this and that. But, you know, the news, they will tell you nothing about what was really happening at that place. My source, which is a neighbor, says the same thing. They're not going to tell you what was really happening in that neighborhood. And why the news will not report that, I will never know. But we're going to report it. We are going to report it. So once I'm done with the stream, I've got a phone interview to do, and then I am putting out a video today. I'm putting out a video today on that. Yeah, that news. That's what the news is for. The news, the corporate media. I don't call them mainstream media anymore. I refuse to call them mainstream because they are not mainstream. Independent journalism, us on the street, we're mainstream. That's exactly what it looked like. So, yeah, I refuse to call it mainstream anymore. We are mainstream now. It's corporate media. They are corporate media, and they are controlled. A lot of drugs out of that place. I've got thanks to Kathy on here, I've got everybody living there had an extensive criminal record. Even the 79-year-old dad that passed away, he had a record going all the way back to 1966. But the boys, Cecil III and Arlie, I think his name was Arlie, they both have very extensive records going a while back. But Arlie only spent 120 days in jail. That's all he's ever spent in jail, and that was for false imprisonment. So, but the neighbors in that neighborhood are not happy. They're not happy with the city. They are not happy with the city. They're not happy with the news. They're not happy with anybody, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them one bit. Yep, Wednesday, you never get the truth from the extreme liberal media. But I've got the background. I was waiting on a couple of different points to come together. I've got the background of the place from the neighbors. I've got the criminal records of the people living there. And now we're just putting together the story. So I will have a video on it this afternoon. One girl lived there, was not related. God dang, this road sucks. Jesus. Was not related, and 27 years old with a record. No idea where she came from. So, Kathy, yes, they did. That's what the neighbor told me, Butterfly. And Kathy, I was going to tell you that there was a lady living there. She may have actually been homeless. Apparently, they had a lot of homeless people living there, even out in the backyard. People sleeping out in the backyard. So they didn't turn anybody away. This road sucks. Old Torf sucks. And you're right, they did take people in. Anyone. They would have anyone in there. Sadly. They were probably home. Probably. I think so. The neighbor told me that Arlie had a charge not long ago. He was dealing fentanyl, which doesn't surprise me, to be quite honest. Lots of people in and out, but didn't include them as they were not there at the time. Yeah. If you, I mean, don't waste your time looking for them. But if you have anybody else that was there with a record, let me know. But don't waste your time looking for that. Oh, okay, you're gonna go back and look at it? Yeah, good deal. I would like to have that information too. I would like to know exactly what's been happening there in the last few years. The neighbors say it's bad. They say that they've, over the last year, they have called 911 over 30 times. Wednesday, have I heard anything from Brian Cook? No. Are you talking about, is that Blast Beat Industries, the comedian? I haven't heard anything from him in a while, actually. Usually he'll message me, but I haven't heard anything from him in quite some time. I have not heard from him. I can call him though. If you want to check on him anyway, I can call him if you want. We can check on him.
2484, has that missing person alert already been confirmed?
I can definitely check on him if you think I should, for sure. Did he just drop out? Is that what happened? Wednesday, did he just drop off the face of the planet?
Right to down, close to the pharmacy side.
Hang on. Let me see when the last... Oh, he just posted, he reposted some stuff, I don't know, it was 14 hours ago. So he's around. I don't know why he disappeared. Like I said, I haven't heard from him in a while. I don't know. That's a good question. He put out a message on July 12th talking about Zen. Yeah, I don't know. I'll reach out to him Wednesday. I'll reach out to him and check on him and see how he's doing.
So far, it does seem like it was today. Has the caller that leaves the church? No more.
Coach, personal training specializing.
That's one.
My 4-year-old last night. Let me tell you something. My 4-year-old, Joe, my son, my 11-year-old's in the chat, but after I'd got in from streaming last night, and I'm sorry, y'all, the stream ended badly last night. I don't know what was wrong. I kept losing signal and losing power. So anyway, long story short, I got home, and I was sitting with my son. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and he was watching a cartoon, and this kid looks at me and tells me that he tells me he wants to be a Giga Chad, but he can't because he's got a chubby belly. Where do these kids come up with this stuff? He said he wants to get ripped. He's 4 years old and already wanting to be a Giga Chad. I laughed so hard about that last night. Yeah, Kathy, do that. Email it to me. We can chat if you want to. One ex-wife Harley died at the age of 50. She had a protection order out. Need to get him some weights. Not at 4 years old. That's a little too early for weights, I think. He's still got his baby chub going. He's still got the baby chub. He's losing that baby fat, though. It's coming off of him. Slowly but surely, it's coming off of him. I just thought it was funny about a 4-year-old talking about wanting to be a Giga Chad. I have never in my life even uttered the word Giga Chad. He had to have heard it on a cartoon. Kids have no filter, man. They will say whatever comes to their mind. And I love it. All right. Where are we at? What are we doing here? Let's see what calls are out right now. You know, I see a lot of broken water pipe calls to the fire department. I didn't know the fire department ran those kind of calls. broken water pipe. That's interesting. Oh, there's one of those self-driving cars. Oh, it sure is. The way, oh shoot, what did they call them? The I forget what they call those self-driving cars. The way something. Wednesday, it is a Giga Chad is a man that is masculine, muscular, and handsome. That's a Giga Chad. You know, like a very muscular, masculine man that is big and ripped and like a man's man. That's a Giga Chad. That is a Giga Chad. There you go, Joe. Now you know what a Giga Chad is. You could turn yourself into a Giga Chad. You're old enough. Turn on to. He said, I want to get ripped. Oh, man.
Air Church Marine Brook, South Texas, Class C DL, that is expired. We do have
all right.
With the subject of prior POED back in 2022.
Gotta be a Giga Chad. Got to be a Giga Chad.
That is correct.
Alright, no calls out right now. Have you heard of, okay, Andrew says, have you heard any reports recently about a homeless man yelling at the top of his lungs around Manchac, William Cannon? It's been happening consistently for the last few weeks. Called the cops 2 weeks ago about it. Just wondering if you've encountered that at all. I have not. And you said it's down around Manchac and William Cannon? Huh. There is a camp that we covered in that area. Let's drive over there real quick. We're right here in the area. There is a camp that I covered there. Let's see. Hang on a sec. We're going to go head down that way right now, actually. There is a camp that I covered. I'm trying to remember exactly where it was at, but we're focusing on that area a little bit more because there's a lot of green spaces in that area that have a lot more camps in them than what we thought. We're finding new camps in that area. And here's what's happening, and this is why we're finding new camps in that area. As they close down, they've just closed down the Williamson Creek Greenbelt camp. And as that happens, as they close those camps down, they are moving, they're moving out into the neighborhoods. Yeah, you heard, okay, right, Kathy. They're moving more out into the neighborhoods and into smaller camp areas. So I know you live down in the South Austin area, Andrew, and you're going to start having more and more homeless be in your neighborhoods because all of the massive camps are being closed down, and it's a big problem. They close them down, they don't go into shelter, and they just kind of disseminate into the neighborhoods. So I got to get around this cat. So yeah, it's a big problem.
Well, Tom, I'm happy you're going to be around to Rio Grande Building 1000 West entrance for a mail.
Andrew, I am sorry that you've got to do that and you've got to move because of that reason. You know, it's your kind of story. It's ridiculous that, you know, tax-paying Austinites, people like you that fuel the economy for this city, are having to uproot your lives because of it. there's not any a particular spot, but in the neighborhoods, if you look around and you find, a space where there is, green spaces, any place where there's stands of trees, even if it's very small, you'll find them in there. Yeah, west side of Mopac. Yep. So as long as it is north of Southwest Parkway, west side of Mopac, north of Southwest Parkway. If you go to the south of Southwest Parkway, there are you're going to encounter the same problems. But if you go north of Southwest Parkway, it's a lot easier to contend with.
L21, checking your status.
And there's a lot of reasons for that. One, it's a richer area of town for sure. And two, there is not as much like public transportation, gas stations, grocery stores, those kind of things that they need to be able to survive. You need to look for a couple of things in a neighborhood. If you're going to have a bunch of homeless folks, you're going to have public transportation, you're going to have grocery stores and gas stations.
Show myself in 123.
So, yeah. As long as those three things are in play, or actually, so you got public transport, gas stations or grocery stores, and areas that have a lot of ground cover that they can build a camp up in, and they don't care if it's private property or city property. They don't care. There is no concern about private property at all. And sadly, in this city, you can call the police and tell them that, hey, there's a camp on my private property, and they're basically going to just, they're not going to say anything.
911 check welfare, 4500 Ross Road at CVS. Smoke with subject on scene, advised an accident.
Let's see. Hang on one sec, guys. Okay. They should not allow us. No, and you know what? There's an area down here in South Austin. It's right at Manchac and Ben White. That's where the Sunshine, that's that homeless outreach center is, right across the street from Sunrise. And so during the day, the homeless folks, they congregate at Sunrise. And right across the street, 50 feet away from all of that mess, is Joslyn Elementary School. It is right there across the street from the Sunrise. I think it's called a Sunrise Navigation Center. I forget exactly what it's called. But during the day, there's hundreds of homeless folks out there. Sometimes they get naked. A lot of times they're sitting on the curb with a needle in their arm. I mean, it's a nightmare, and children have to go to school in that condition. It's so bad. When you look at Joslyn Elementary School, they have a huge fence up around the school. It's like a prison. And it's not to keep the kids in, it's to keep the homeless folks at Sunrise out. The whole school is covered with a massive barbed wire fence. Come on, kick back on. Oh, here go.
assaulted, subject
Yeah,
left the scene.
the whole school is covered with a massive barbed wire fence. Yeah, that is the distribution center. It's a it's a place, they shouldn't have it there. And that whole neighborhood it's like a pot boiling with a tight lid on it. That neighborhood is that way right now. And Ryan Alter, that's his neighborhood, that's his district. He has a huge problem because his constituents do not want that shit in their neighborhood anymore. There's so many property crimes and drug crimes and indecent exposures, and you can't leave anything outside; it will be stolen. Andrew, you know this area well. Every time I drive by it, I see open air drug trading. It's third world. Yeah, and it's right there. Even and it kind of spreads from that the sunrise from that center. If you look under Manchac and Ben White at the homeless camp that's under there, you'll see people just sitting out on the curb. They've got a crack pipe in their mouth. And it's probably not, a lot of it's fentanyl as well, but they're just, and they're dealing in the open air out there. Jostling for the parking lot during the fall and winter. It's dark. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. It shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening, but it is.
301.
Should not be happening at all. Let's see. We're at Congress. So we're on William Cannon right now. Going to be approaching South First.
Officer Paul 4810242, I'm checking for this.
Apparently this guy that just passed me was not happy with me driving 50 miles an hour. He needed me to go 60 on William Cannon. I've gone to trainings at Joslin early in the morning. I'm comfortable walking. Yeah, I wouldn't go there if I were you. If I was just a normal citizen that didn't deal with homelessness a lot, there would be no way I would walk in that area after dark. I don't know. Are you talking about the 360 car wash right there you're talking about that car wash right on the corner? I don't know. I don't know how that place isn't robbed blind literally every night, because there's so many homeless in that area and they will steal everything. But that car wash stays open. They must literally lock up every single piece of equipment that they have. I don't know how it stays open, to be honest. You wouldn't think that it could stay open.
Black male, white shirt and black pants.
I don't know how it stays open.
Black Chevrolet Traverse.
It's a good point. I've never really thought about that. That is a pretty good point.
In the middle of an active crisis, or just need to talk with an amateur.
Yep, that is it's like homeless central right there.
Omega 43 Temple.
Definitely homeless central.
Someone's trying to harm the caller.
John Galt, how's it going, sir? Thanks for jumping on with us.
Omega 28, can we pull up 28 AP, please? 10-4.
Yeah, Andrew, I don't know, man.
You got a call?
The only thing I can come up with is they literally have to block everything up. Let's see, there's a homeless at Texaco. Yeah, there is. There is. Let's see, where are we at? We're at South First and William Cannon. So, like, driving through here, okay, you see all the trees and so, like, we're going to pass this one area right here, and I'm about to show you. There is, one sec, let me move over one here. I'm going to show you guys one of the largest homeless encampments in Austin, and I guarantee you had no clue that it was here. I can almost guarantee you had no clue it was here. Hang on. So we're going to be approaching Manchac here very shortly. Now, most of everything you see through here on the sides of the road, behind the trees, are little neighborhoods. Okay. But hang on. Right here, this area under this bridge right here. Hang on, is this it? Yeah, this is it. Down on either side of this bridge, under the railroad tracks and by the railroad tracks, massive homeless camp right here. It is very, very big, and it's right under us. So there's one here it's right next to the railroad tracks. I used to live on South First William Cannon, Thelma Drive, next to the media school. There, next to the middle school. That's awesome. So right down here, though, I want to show you guys a camp that I almost guarantee you didn't even know existed. So this is Manchac and William Cannon. Now, right on the other side of this, there is a big old church kind of back up on a hill. Need some propane. Hey, call Propane Zoe. He'll get it. He'll get you some propane. Propane. So, Andrew, I know this is kind of your neighborhood down here, without getting too specific. So right on the other side here, there is a church. Right here on the left side of the road. And there's an area known as the, I think it's called the Williams, or the Stevenson or Stevens Nature Preserve, which is right over here to our left. This is the church right here. Let's see, is this it? No, it's actually on that. So right back behind all of these trees, there is a homeless camp that is massive, and it's right at the Stevenson or Stevens Nature Preserve. Okay, and it is massive. They have taken the nature preserve over. They have literally taken it completely over. They have built structures in there. It's no longer a nature preserve. And I did some research on this place a while back, and I can't remember. It's either owned by the state and ran by the city. I think that's what it is. I think the land is owned by the state of Texas, and it's been designated a nature preserve, or the city of Austin actually maintains it, and it's right here on your left. Is this the church right here? Yes, Impact Church. All right, so this is it. I'm gonna go pull a Yui and come back. So right here to our left, one of the largest homeless camps in Austin is right here to your left, and you never know it existed. Nobody knows it's there. You can't see it from the road. There's no seeing it from the road. You can't see anything. You see that little entrance right there by the guardrail? That is an entrance into the homeless camp. They take and they drive their cars up over the curb right there and off into the green belt, or off into the nature preserve. And it is massive. It is a huge camp with lots of buildings that they have built. Like little, where they take scrap wood and build structures out of them. And it's all back up in there. Oh shoot, what did I do? It's all back up in there in those trees. And at night and during the day, these folks, they come out of the woods and they go out into the neighborhoods here around Manchac and William Cannon, and they steal. That's what they do. They steal. Here you go. Here's some people. Here's some homeless folks going right back to their place now with their cart. There you go. Property crime is very high in this neighborhood right now because of that homeless camp. There's lots of stolen property happening here. Getting angry. They had registered high risk sex offender living there. His victim was 11. Holy smokes. Wondered about that place. I've seen lots of shop. Yeah. Oh yeah, the shopping carts. If you see shopping carts, in a, you know, like in the entrance or at a wooded area, you can almost guarantee that there's a homeless camp in there. It's bad. It's probably one of the largest camps in Austin. We've been trying to go in there, but the word on the street is that it's a dangerous place, and so we're trying to plan. We don't want to get hurt. We have never been in that. We've been in the camp briefly, but I've never actually went in and videotaped it or filmed it because of the danger. But Dave and I hope we will be visiting that area this coming week to document it and get it on the map. But it is a very bad area. Oh man, there's Shortstop. I am craving a BLT right now. Shortstop has some of the best BLTs. It probably is. It's a massive place. There's a lot of people in there. I bet there's probably 30 or 40 homeless folks living in there, scattered in around 50 camps or so. It's bad. It's bad. Some of the camps are abandoned, but most of them are still occupied. And it's on a nature preserve. It's on protected wildlands. But the city doesn't care. They don't give a shit. Because most of these camps, like that one right there, until somebody like us comes out and shines a spotlight on it, it's out of sight, out of mind. Nobody knows it's even there. I'm going to show you guys something. Let me stop here real quick. I want to show y'all something. One, 220. Okay. Hang on, there's a really bad, looks like a pretty bad traffic accident up here. Alright, we're gonna drive up to on to South Congress, where they have a priority 2 traffic accident. There's a homeless man sleeping on the school's bleachers naked on First Street. Yeah, I believe it, for sure. Andrew says realtors are still promoting Austin's Greenbelts as if they're a destination and a reason to move here. Yeah, look, they if you look in the travel guides and stuff for Austin, they say that the Violet Crown Trail is they say that the Violet Crown Trail is the crown jewel of Austin. And I had some videos I put out just last week on the Violet Crown Trail, where massive homeless camps with 1 million needles in it, and it's so sad. A lot of needles, fires burning, and I figured out, I don't know if you guys have heard me bitch about they leave fires smoldering. The video that I put out last week was about, there was 3 different fires burning in that one camp, and I was talking about how they were burning clothes and stuff. Well, what they do, bugs are real bad in the woods right now. The flies, the mosquitoes, they're horrible. And you can imagine if you had to live in those woods, it would be untenable. So what they do is they build these fires, and then they throw some clothes into them that is like polyester. And what it does is it just smolders and smokes and fills the woods up with smokes, and the bugs, they stay away. The bugs will not bother them in that area if they're burning that polyester clothes. So they build a fire and then let it smolder and smoke just to keep the bugs away. I get it. So we're right here at Man Shack and Jones Road. This is Rami's area. on the left side of the creek here, Rami, this is where he builds a lot of his crosses and stuff. There's actually a big old cross right there that he built. This is Chainsaw Man's neighborhood.
So there are warrant numbers listed individually attached to the 3 warrants. There is no bond information.
I should start a tour company and tour people around to all the famous crime scenes and homeless camps in Austin. What do you think? You think anybody would take the tour? The true crime homeless tour in Austin? Throw a few people in the Dash Mobile and go tell them whatever's happening around the city. Kid therapy. There's Joslyn Elementary to our left right there. Sorry, we dropped out there for a second. I know, I think it would be a good tour. But look, you can see there at Joslyn Elementary, look at the fence that's around it. Look at the fence. It's sad. It really is sad. Oh, Andrew, I wish the politicians, I've offered, and I still offer to this day on occasion, to go out and show them what's happening, but they won't even acknowledge that we exist. They do not even acknowledge that we exist. And that's a shame, but that's the way it is. All right. Well, that guy doesn't look very happy. Yeah, there's the famous H2O hand car wash that we can't figure out how it stays open. The Real Homeless to Real Homeless of Austin. Instead of, what is it, Real Housewives, Real Homeless of Austin? I think that would be a good tour. The Real Homeless of Austin. Let's see here. This wreck is going to be all the way almost down to Riverside, actually. Yep, and we're getting there. We're getting there, Andrew. It's a slow build because, you know, I think if I covered more national stuff, that it, you know, we would build faster. But because, you know, Dash is local to Austin, and I cover only stuff here in Austin, it's a slow build. But if you'll remember, when I very first met you, we weren't close to where we were at right now. We've grown a lot over the past year. You know, and really, the stuff with Stripe, I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. I've been with Stripe. Andrew, you were the one that turned me on to Stripe. I don't remember when that was. It was, well, I think it was at the end of 2022, first of 2023, I think. I've been with them a long time. And I've never had any issues with Stripe, ever. So, I don't know what happened. I don't know why they finally decided that what we do is too risky for them. I don't even know what that means. And I asked them, what does that mean? And they can't tell me. So, but the thing that sucks about it is I ran a donation fundraiser the last 3 days. Well, all the way up until Friday. I did a fundraiser through Friday. And they, I don't know. A lot of the fundraiser money they're keeping for 90 days. Because if you take in a payment or a donation through Stripe, Stripe, it takes, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Once the money hits your Stripe account, it takes 3 or 4 days for them to transfer it into your bank account. And so a lot of the money that came in Thursday and Friday, they're keeping for 90 days. And that's where the majority of the fundraising money went to Stripe. And that's it. So I'm looking at, there's actually 2 places that I'm looking at that are like parallel economy. One is Dan Bongino's company, and the other one is Gab, the Gab parallel economy. So, and hopefully we'll be able to be cancel free at those places. But it is what it is. It's just a bump in the road. It sucks that they're going to hold on to the majority of the fundraising money for a while, but it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. You can't fight them. So, but we will survive. Align pay. Gab, they say, is 100% free speech advocate. Let's see. Hang on, Andrew. Let me see what you got there. Joe Biden. Hang on. I can see Joe Biden in the address. Whoever runs his, whatever social media team runs his Twitter, they really suck. Whoa, wait a minute. Holy shit, y'all. Let me read this to y'all. This is from Joe Biden. This was issued today. Today, America is the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, lowering prescription drug okay, blah, blah, blah. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together we overcame, blah, blah, blah. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it's the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude. So he dropped out. Biden is out. He is not running. Holy smokes. Biden is out. What do you guys think about that? He just dropped out. Man, oh man, y'all. Kathy, I'm gonna post it. He issued the letter himself from his account. I'm retweeting it now. Yep, he's out. He's done. Yeah, that came directly from Joe Biden, Kathy. So whatever Fox News is reporting is wrong. This message came out, I don't know, a little bit ago. He issued the message himself. So now the question is, who is going to run? Are they going to have to pick Harris? Or are they going to pick somebody like Michelle Obama? I sincerely hope Michelle Obama's not running, because it's going to be hard for Trump to beat her. Kathy, nobody said it. Joe Biden said it. Joe Biden issued a letter. He issued a statement. Joe Biden himself. Look at my Twitter feed. You'll see it. Yikes, man. So who's going to run in his place? I don't know. I don't know who's going to run in his place. That's big news, though. That is massive news. Man, but we kind of knew this was coming, though, right? Didn't we know this was coming? I'm not certain that Michelle Obama's going to run. I think that with DEI, they have backed themselves into a corner, and they have to put Kamala Harris as, oh my God, they're not going to do that either. I don't know what they're going to do. They have really screwed themselves over, because if they don't run Kamala Harris, then she is female and she is a person of color. They almost have to. They almost have to run her. I just can't imagine them not running her, to be honest. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I know, it's odd, isn't it, Andrew? It's odd. Andrew says, what's weird is his administration has been so firm that he was not dropping out. And then boom. You're right. I even heard up through yesterday that they were adamant that he was running. You know, there's been a lot of talk from behind the scenes, people saying that he's dropping out, but then the administration and his campaign would come out and say that that's poppycock. And then now all of a sudden, boom, done. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know what to think. I don't know who they're gonna run. I'm kind of torn between. It'll either be Michelle Obama or Kamala Harris. I think it'll be one of the two. And I really can't see them going back. I mean, I can see them running Michelle Obama, but I don't know, man. It's so late in the game now. They have screwed themselves. Campaign is in full swing. It's going to be hard. I think I might have screwed myself coming up Congress right now, because there's a car accident up in front of us. If I can see. Well, it's a priority 2, so I don't.
30 minutes for a 21-year-old female with a knot on her head.
Maybe the accident has already been. Looks like it may have already been cleared.
Edward 14, could we get get a Charlie unit to go check out the 11616 Arrow Mound Pass?
All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. We had a good stream today. It is 1 o'clock, so I'm going to end this today. I've got some work to do. I was going to take today off, but I got to get this video done on Center Street, so I've got to head over there and get some filming done real quick. But I will not be on. There's no more. Not going to be any other streams today. What's up, Joe? What's your question? Not going to be any other streams today. I'll be back tomorrow. But look, this afternoon I will release it here on YouTube as well. Here on YouTube, I'll release it everywhere. There's a video coming out about the Center Street fire and deaths and all the circumstances surrounding that. So I'm gonna head over right now and do some filming over there. Dash meetup. I don't know yet. I don't know exactly where the Dash meetup is gonna be just yet, but we're working on it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate everyone being on. Andrew, Kathy, Butterfly, everybody on YouTube, everybody on X. Thanks everybody for being on. Joe, thank you for being on. Butterfly, go get some food. And I will talk